An Angoy's Avenue woman recently celebrated her 100th birth anniversary. More in this report. Berbice can now boast of having another centenarian as Mrs. Lydia Bess of Lot 2 Ogleton Dam, Angoy's Avenue, and formerly of Skeldon, celebrated her 100th birthday on December 5, 2023. Mrs. Bess is unlike any centenarian you'll ever meet. She's quite the life of the home, as she enjoys retelling stories to her children and grandchildren about her younger days. When this reporter asked how it feels to be celebrating her 100th birthday, Mrs. Bess said,
"They were Centenarian, my father's side, and my mother's side from Rose Hall Town. I was born. They are also Centenarian. So I used to listen to this thing, but I never expected that I would have been the one going into that. Never."
The woman was the firstborn of her parents, Charles Felix and Rosalind Kurt. She spent her early childhood in her home village, Rose Hall Town, Quarantine Berbice, before moving further along the coast to Skeldon.
The Catholic school.
Catholic school.
I left there small. My mother took me to Corrivator and back to a primary school.
Which primary school?
Scott's school.
The woman's memory is quite impressive for her age. She shared some highlights of her childhood days in school.
I was finding himself between the girls. And since they holler, "You reporter gonna go to Sora, get in." And they beat him up. Beat up the boy. When I don't beat him up, by the step of the church, churches in the schoolyard till now, at Rosa. I had a big plimple bush like that chair. The bright plimple? When I finished beating you up, I hold you by the shirt. So I said, "You playing, man." Push him with the back in the plimple. And I gone.
She's still a family-oriented woman. Mrs. Bess had found herself closer to the Narang family, who took care of her for a few years.
My sight left me, started on me when I was third standard. I can't remember what year. Over to fourth. And as soon as I go over to fourth, the sight had me down. They had to call my mother and she had to come and carry me home. Never go back to school. I was with the Naurans at Rose Hall where she was working. When she left the work, husband and wife said, "Nella, leave this child with us. Don't carry her." I go with those people. They care me. But after a time I called to go to my mother.
She was in her early 20s when she was married to Mr. Edward Bess.
This was my husband. He wasn't a Guyanese, he was a Dutchman. My mother gave me to an old man, but he was a very caring man. She said, "You got to marry to that man." I said, "Not me."
So when did you marry him?
1950, the 15th of February.
How many boys and girls?
The boys are 5 there. The girls were 4, that was 9. I bring up 9 children.
She then devoted her time as a mother and a wife.
I worked after I got married, caring my children and gardening in the yard. That man never allowed me to go and work nowhere. Sweet potato, cassava, and those things. And greens, numberless also.
So you never had to buy anything from the market then?
No, I used to sell. In the morning, everybody line up there. I come to buy whatever I have. Then after time, I used to be selling little things on the road like cigarette, coil, matches, and other things. I would come to Amsterdam, buy sweets, go home, put it on the road.
While the centenarian appears to be quite able-bodied, she experienced quite a few challenges caused by various health conditions.
The first attack was a stroke. You see the heart? I don't have much in it. And after that, I was feeling something here. I go back. I said, doctor, something Danny. He said, you have enlarged heart. That was his second sickness. Hypertension all the time. I was always having that. And then this blackout. Nobody can tell me up to now what was it. But he treated me for it and it good. Because I put it in God's hand.
Additionally, the Centenarian said,
Sometimes I say, what is the secret? I say, look up. The advice is, no matter what denomination you are, but just believe in the name of God. Say, I believe. That is what I did. I believe. And that is what have me here.
to recognize this milestone, councillors of the Mayor Anton Council, Miss Carol Trimbaggett and Mr. Joel Amsterdam, presented a food hamper to Mrs. Bess. Mrs. Lydia Bess lives with her 7 to 1-year-old daughter Nadine Stafford, who takes care of her. She is surrounded by her grandchildren and great-grandchildren who she adores. Happy birthday to Berbice's newest centenarian, Mrs. Lydia Bess. Narima Ali, Channel 8 News.